In today's video, we're going to go over the most important piece of training equipment that you can use for peekaboo boxing, and that is the slip bag. The slip bag will teach you proper head movement technique while also giving you something to work your hand-eye coordination or your peripheral vision to move your head. Now let's begin. First things first, you got to get a slip bag. You can make a homemade one or you can buy one off Amazon or other companies. There's different sizes. There's bigger ones and there's smaller ones. Here in this gym, we have a large one and a small one. Okay, I got this one off Amazon. I'll link it in the description below. Okay, so when you hang your slip bag, it's very important that it's very short. Okay, you can't have anything over like 2 feet when it comes to the rope of the slip bag. Why is that? Because if it's longer rope, like for instance, tied onto a ceiling, it's gonna be really slow like this, like a slow pendulum, all right? You want the slip bag to be quicker, okay? So the shorter the rope, the faster the slip bag will move. Now let's get into some basic drills that you can utilize for the slip bag. The first thing I want to do is stand properly in front of the slip bag. There's 2 ways you can stand. Obviously, you want to stand, if you're right-handed, you want to stand with your left foot forward. Remember, peekaboo boxing stance is a little more squared off with the hips and shoulders. Why is that? Because when your hips are more squared off and your shoulders also, you're able to slip to both sides a lot easier. Remember the peekaboo head movement, the slipping motion is like a windshield wiper, okay? It's more bent in the waist, more utilized in the waist, not just moving your shoulders. I'm not moving my shoulders in. I'm not just moving my head in, right? I'm bending at the waist. Just like if I had 2 dumbbells doing side bends, I'm gonna bend more at the waist. So the first thing you need to do is you're gonna stand directly in front of the slip bag. All right, you want to hang it to where it's about forehead level. All right, you want to get into your stance, elbows in, hands up to on your cheekbones. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is just practice one slip. Okay, so I'm going to slip the bag once, reset back into my stance, wait for the bag to come back, and slip it again. 1 count slip. Okay, so the secret is I'm not going to actually execute the slip until the bag get as close as possible to my face, and then I execute the slip. So I'll show you. 1 count slip. I'm gonna bring it out, slip, and then reset. Okay? I can catch the bag and try again, or I can just keep going. I'm gonna slip, reset, reset. I have to kind of wait for the bag to come back. Remember, this is day 1. I'm just learning to slip at the waist, activating the core. I'm slipping at the waist. Okay? Remember, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing a tiny little slip. I want full range of motion. Get used to full range of motion. Okay? So I'm going to slip once, so wait for the bag, return home. Slip to the other side, wait. Slip, wait. Okay? So the second drill is you're going to do a double slip. Usually in peekaboo boxing, you move your head more than once, okay? When you throw a straight punch, you can slip 2 to 3 times. When you throw the hook, you're gonna bob and weave 2 to 3 times, okay? So now I'm gonna move my head movement twice, slip twice. Return home. See how I return home. And I'm gonna wait for the bag to come back and then move my head at the last second. Also, you got to remember that I'm going to practice it going left to right or right to left. So I'm going to work my slipping action 2 count. Return home. Wait till the very last second, move my head. 2 things you want to pay attention. Well, actually, let me say 3 things to your stance. When I'm in my stance, my chin is tucked. The second thing is my shoulders are slightly shrugged, and I pull my stomach in like this rounded position here, and then my knees are bent. I'm not standing straight up, right? I'm pretty tall, so I don't bend as much, okay? So I'm gonna have my hands up, elbows in, chin tucked, shoulders slightly shrugged, and my knees bent. Let's go back to the 2 count. Return home. Usually I breathe out when I exhale when I'm doing any type of motion, defensive, offense. I'm always controlling and working my breathing, okay? Wait till the last second and slip. If the bag starts to slow down or go off at an angle, just reset it. Just grab it and start again. All right, 2 count again. Left, right, return home. Okay? Left, right, return home. Left, right, return home. Okay? Now I'm going to go left, right. Wait for it. Very last second. Slip side to side. Full range of motion. Just like an upside down pendulum or a windshield wiper. Okay? Now I can go to 3 count. 3 count. Return home. Breathing on every movement. Now, when you go to the 3 count, you got to move a lot quicker. Okay, there's less delay when you return back to your stance before that slip bag comes back. So one more time, 3 count. Now I can go to the right hand side first. Okay, so once you do it once, twice, and 3 times, I'm going to start adding in punches. Okay, and the 1 punch I'm going to add in is the jab. Okay, if you're just starting out with the slip bag, just work your jab. Jab and slip. Slip and jab. Okay, so we're going to add the jab, but this time we're going to skip the 1 count slip. All right, we're going to jump right to 2 count. Usually I just don't slip on there just once. It's usually 2 to 3 times. All right, so what I'm going to do as the bag goes out, I'm going to throw that jab out, the number 7. I'm going to jab and then slip as the bag comes back. So I'm going to work that jab to slip. 7 slip. But I'm going to slip twice. I'm going to move my head twice. Reset. Remember, I'm bending at the waist. I'm not doing this. All right? That's not the peekaboo slip. Remember, the peekaboo slip is multi-dimensional. It's not only to slip the straight punches, I can slip a hook. When a hook punch comes on the side, I can go down a little bit farther. Or when I get on the inside of my opponent, I want to shift and get my head offline. All right, all that is got to activate your core. It's all in the waist. Okay, I'm shifting, slipping at the waist. All right, so let's do that again. Jab or number 7, slip, slip. Okay, normally I jab and slip to the outside. Usually I don't jab and slip to this side, but you can. You can slip both sides. I recommend you do both, okay? But usually when I jab and I slip to the outside, the reason why, because I'm always counting, I'm predicting that right hand coming back. You don't want to slip this way and get caught laying on your right hand side with the right hand. Okay, so let's do it again. 7, slip, slip. And then I'm going to return home and wait. Usually when I throw the 7, when the bag goes out, I aim center line of the bag and then slip, slip. Okay, so now let's do it 3 times. We're going to move your head 1, 2, 3 times. Reset. Okay, so you can see I have to do the repetitions a lot faster. Okay, if you're having problems and the bag keeps hitting you, just stop the bag after each repetition and then throw it out. Remember, you're working technique. Okay, you don't have to do this continuous movement on the slip bag. The slip bag is a training aid to help your hand-eye coordination and moving your head and then punching and moving your head. Okay, so 3 times, one more time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're gonna slip 1, 2, 3. Okay, so once I do the jab and the slips, I'm gonna add in the bob and weave. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're going to do 2 count bobbin and weaving. Okay? So when the bag comes out, you can see I'm using the slip bag, waiting till the very last second, and then bobbing and weaving under, or we're just weaving. All right, the bob is this. The bob is the duck, straight up and down. This is the weave. Okay, so we'll get to the bob or the duck here in a second. So one more time, 2 count, bob and weave, or weave. Okay, so you see I started my left-hand side, then went right-hand side. So I can do the left to right. Okay, and then I can go on to 3 count, all right? But now I'm going to add the jab, or the 7, and bob and weave, 2 count. You can see it, working full range of motion. When you're training your head movement, either on the heavy bag, okay, shadow boxing, or on the slip bag, I want to see full range of motion. Not this shit. Or not chicken pecking, okay? You're not just doing this head bobbing. Okay, that's something totally different. Okay, I'm doing full range of motion. Okay, and it really, there's a lot of conditioning that has to take place in your core, your lower back and your obliques, your abs. You got to condition full range of motion. Okay, so once you add that jab, you can bob and weave twice, 3 times, whatever. But now we're going to start blending the slips and the bob and weave, okay, or the weave. Slip and roll. We'll call it the rolling. Okay, so it goes out. I'm going to slip, roll. I'm going to pop up in my stance, wait for it to almost hit me. That's my sign that I need to move my head. So I'm going to slip, roll. Okay? You see how the bag kind of went off on an angle? That's okay. Then I'm going to roll out. Okay? Then I can add my punch. You know, jab or 7, slip, roll. And then from there I can work any combination I want. Okay? I can kind of just free flow on the bag. But I would highly suggest you take it step by step. Work these different head movements and then free flow. Because once you learn, you get these movements, the side to side, the bob and weave, you can add in other elements, okay, like the bob or the duck. So not only can I duck it, slip, you know, duck, slip, bob and weave, duck, slip, duck, okay, roll, slip, jab, slip, jab, duck, bob and weave. So I'm adding all these different elements together when I'm working the slip bag. I can start throwing combinations, okay? I can slip, hit, you know, bob and weave out, double jab, you know, slip, roll. You know, sky's the limit of all the different combinations. You're going to start developing your own style and ways of working the slip bag. As long as you can get the side to side, the duck or bob, and the weaving down, you have a good start. And then you can start adding in your footwork. Okay? The 2 major pieces of footwork that you can add into the slip bag, okay, is the twist, both sides, or you're just going to step to the side with a leg spring. Let me give you an example. We're going to do the slip motion, 2 count slipping motion. I'm going to add in a leg spring to the side, okay? So if I start this way, okay, then I can spring to the side. So if I go slip, spring to the side, okay? Spring to the side, all right? Or I can go slip, spring to this side. So it doesn't matter which side I start on. I can always end it on springing to the side. Then spring to the side. Okay, then from there I can throw my fast combinations, you know, while working the slip bag. But it's okay to stop and just focus on one drill. Like today I'm gonna work double slip, spring to the side. Spring to the side. All right, maybe I'll go the other way. Spring to the side. Okay, so that's the leg springs. Or I can add in the twist. So I can slip, twist to the side. You know, if I'm shadow boxing, I can put my combinations in. All right, slip, twist. Or I can go the other side. Okay, I can slip, twist to this side. Fire my combinations, move my head. Okay, working that jab and that slip. So that is the basics or beginner level of using the slip bag. The slip bag should be utilized every day. Every day. Okay, it becomes, the more you use this slip bag, the more your reaction time is going to be quicker. Give you a good example. If I'm using this slip bag all the time, I mean, I've used it for years, one of my favorite pieces of equipment. I was driving down the road one time and a bird or something flew at my car and I know I moved my head. That's the reaction that you're looking for, okay? Because remember in Peekaboo, your main line of defense is your head movement, okay? Moving your head. Now there's reaction, head movement, or premeditated, okay? What I mean by that is if I step into my opponent and throw a jab and I move my head because I expect a counter punch. Now that counter punch may or may not come. So if I step in, throw the 7 and slip, and that's 7 and slip, and the next time I 7 and slip and he throws that 2 and it, woo! You'd be surprised in sparring how much I miss punches or elude punches without even trying because I'm always moving my head. Okay, there's 3 times, that was 2, 3 times you move your head in Peekaboo boxing. The first one and the most important one is after your last punch. So if I throw a combination 7-2, I'm moving my head after my last punch, anticipating an opponent's counterattack. The second time I can move my head is before I punch. So I might work my way in and punch out of that head movement. Okay? The third time is in the middle of your combination. So maybe I step in 1, 2, roll, then finish my combination, and then move my head after my last punch. So there's different drills that work different types or times of moving your head. But the most important thing you got to remember is after your last punch, you're moving your head. Usually if you throw a hook, end on a hook, I bob and weave twice. If I end on a straight punch, I slip 3 times. That's kind of the general rule. Now when you get to sparring, and I step in and throw a 1, 2, and my opponent shoots way off to the side, I don't have to stop and bob and weave. I'm just gonna twist and face my opponent. You know, cutting off the ring and walking them down. That is it. I hope you learned some basic techniques for the slip bag. If you're serious about boxing, if you're serious about Peekaboo, you have to use the slip bag. Have a good day.